Hello, legends. Jade Eldred here. We just went from 87 degrees like 2 days ago, and now it's in the 50s. That's why I'm dressed like this. The weather around here plays games with us. So, and we're supposed to get in the 70s later today, but right now it's cold. For me anyway. It's just when it changes like that, 30, 40 degrees in 1 or 2 days, I'll cover up. So that's why I'm outside. I'm about to do this video for you guys, so I wanted to make sure that I changed the scenery. It's a sunny day, even though it's kind of cool. It's about probably 12 C, 50 something. So we got a new legend on our channel, Tread Like District, and he made a suggestion almost psychically. I had replied to one of his responses after I did the video on whether multiple bikes are necessary. He replied saying that, tell that to my wife. And then I made a comment about me having crazy money that my wife doesn't care what I do with. And he suggested that I do a topic where we're talking about how you manage family and cycling, how you keep the wife happy. It's a topic I had already written it down after I replied to him. So it was great that he came back with such a great suggestion, because this is something that I deal with every day. As far as not so much just like he said, trying to keep the wife happy, but I married my wife because I love my wife, and so why would I want to upset her every day? So my goal every day is to make sure I do something to make her happy every day. So what I try to do as far as cycling, it's a little different for me because my wife actually used to ride, and she used to ride with me. We used to ride together. She's not into it that much anymore. So yeah, his point is right on. So what I do is, in fact, I would start with like the group rides. The reason I ride from the house and hook up with the guys that I hook up with when I do the group video is twofold, because one is convenient, two, the timing, and then three, of course, the location. It's a ride on Saturday where I roll out here 6:45, 7 o'clock. My family's still asleep. I can do my ride with these guys. By the time I get back about 11, sometimes 10:30, 11 o'clock thereabouts, my family's just up and about. So it's perfect. So I get back, I can spend time with my daughters, hang out with the wife, whatever. I have the whole rest of the Saturday to do whatever I want with the family, if we plan on doing something together. So it's very convenient, as opposed to putting a bike on a car, driving. We have bigger rides that are not rideable conveniently from where I am because it would take too much time, that have hundreds of riders in a group. There's one at Zuby Park. So we have other options in the area, but if I were to do those very regularly, it would be like going to a Grand Fondo. It would just eat up. I'd be getting back 2, 3 in the afternoon. That's just too many hours. So riding from the house, picking up a local group nearby that on the way, on the route where I live, is convenient. That keeps everybody happy. That's number one. Number two is, because my family rises, especially on like even Sunday, I ride too. So I ride Saturday and Sunday because those are the times I can get a lot of hours in. But because they rise, say 9-ish, 10 o'clock, thereabouts, because my girls like to sleep in, my little girls, on the weekends, I get up early at 6, thereabouts, and roll out. By the time I ride, like especially on Sunday, when I roll out at 6, I'm not really hooking up with a group. If I meet people on the route, fine. But by 9:30, 10 o'clock on Sunday, I'm done. And I've got 3 hours in easy. I roll out 6:30. By 9:30, 10 o'clock, I'm done. I don't stop. I carry everything I need. So by the time I get back, they're just getting up. It's as if to say, I never even left. And that's the weekend. So during the week, you guys have seen the videos where I made with my trainer. Because of scheduling sometimes, even sometimes when I have the day off, I've got stuff that I'm responsible for. I do most of the cooking in my family because I love to cook. My wife doesn't care for it that much. She can cook, but it's my thing. So I do that. That's another way I keep the wife happy. So I cook for the family. So if I have like a lot of cooking to do, I may not be able to go out and ride. So then I get on the trainer. So the wife comes home, my wife works. So she comes home 5:30, 6 o'clock, meal's ready. While she's eating with the kids, I can even get on the trainer. The kids need to bathe at 8 o'clock thereabout, because they go to bed around 9:15. And so I time my trainer rides to where I can ride from like 6 p.m. or 5:30 if I'm back at the house to like 7 or 7:30. So I got an hour and a half or two every day if I can't get out during the day for whatever business reasons that pop up. So I can use that little window, get my trainer rides in, do a video, whatever I need to do down in my studio while she's up eating, because she didn't have to come home to cook. So she eats, I ride. Then when I'm done, by 7:30 thereabout, I clean up a little bit and go help bathe the girls. So all of that is a give and take. So you kind of have to work with whoever you're with, think about your partner. And I think that's what he was alluding to, how are you managing? So it's just a matter of being considerate. Even if I weren't into cycling as much as I am, if it was, say, baseball, or, I used to play basketball a long time ago, whatever it is you're into, you just have to look at, okay, what are you not doing that you're supposed to do because of this sport? So if you go cycle and you're supposed to run an errand for the house, well, that can create some friction, So you have to manage your time very well, and that's the key. Plan, okay? Communicate with your wife or your partner or whoever you're with. If you want to go ride in the afternoon this day because of the weather, because sometimes I have to juggle it to say, okay, I had this conference call this morning, so even though it was nice, I couldn't go out. So then what I would do is let her know, hey, I couldn't go out this morning because I had to take care of these things, but I want to ride between 3 and 5 before it gets dark at 5:30. This time of year it gets dark at that. I let her know and then see if that will work. Does she have anything going on? If not, she doesn't have to come watch the kids. So we have a teenage daughter who can watch the kids while I go and roll out. And that day you do a short ride, hour and a half thereabouts, come back. So it's really just a matter of give and take. It's not that hard to do. For the most part, I have a cycling budget. I have money that instead of going to the bar and drink with the boys like I used to do a long time ago when I was single, that crazy money is for my cycling gear, okay? Because think about it, you go out drinking, you can spend 30, 50 bucks. And if you do it regularly, it can be $200 a month. So I put the money aside. Instead of paying somebody to do my yard, where I live, these guys from El Salvador, Mexico, wherever, they charge $100 a week to cut grass. I saw that coming in when we moved out here in 2012. So what I did, I told her, I said, you know what? I'm not going to pay them $100 to cut grass. So what I did was I saved up some money. I bought a tractor from one of my friends, Alan. He was on the group ride, the guy I broke away with. I bought his tractor that he wasn't using. It's a John Deere. And he had bought it, but he just was not into that. And so I got it at about probably about close to $1,000, which is about $700 or $800 less than what they were selling it at the local hardware store. So I saved money on that. Well, that was like, I think 2013 thereabouts, something like that. I don't remember the year exactly. But anyway, by doing that, that's $400 on a regular month that I'm not giving away to somebody. And that thing is like bomb proof. It might as well be a Caterpillar or whatever. I've had to do nothing to it. It has a simple 2-cycle engine. It's a little noisy. I bought the head ear covers, the yellow ear covers, and all the stuff that goes with it. I do my own yard. It takes me about 45 minutes just to cut. It's about an acre. It takes me 45 minutes to cut the yard, and then 30 minutes to trim everything. So hour and a half to 2 hours, sometimes 3. Like if the season has, like in the winter now, I don't do it that much. So the first time it takes more time. So then I trim on one day. So it might take me an hour and a half to do all the trimming because I let things go over the winter. Nothing's growing, but you get weeds. But during the summer, 2.5 hours is the most I spend doing the yard. So I pick a day and I invest the 2.5 hours and I keep that $100 every week. Crazy money. Okay. So all of that. So during the winter when stuff's on sale, I got plenty of crazy money to invest in stuff. Or if I wanted to get components and all of that, that's where that comes from. So instead of giving it to somebody to do the yard, I do it myself. There's a lot of upkeep around here. minor things, I'm pretty handy. A lot of things I can do myself, I do that myself. I have a power washer. I power wash the driveways in the spring. I do that myself instead of paying somebody $700-800 to come and do that. They charge. When they come and they see a nice neighborhood, they create prices. That's one thing about a handyman. They don't have any standard pricing. You can see the eyes go up like you bought the house because you gave money away, like you don't have any sense. And that's kind of an insult. So I investigate whatever I can do, I do myself. Whatever I can't do, I do the research. I get bids and I get them to do it, and I keep those expenses down. So that's really how it works. I mean, you have to, it's really common sense when you think about it. I mean, even if I could cycle 7 hours a day, I wouldn't want to. So you have to balance it off, You have to make sure that you're taking care of things. I mean, my wife does not do my laundry. I do my own laundry, especially my cycling stuff. I do it myself. I'm real picky. Those of you who have seen my video on how to take care of your cycling clothes. So all those things are offloaded off of her. I do my own laundry. The clothes we wear to work go to the cleaners. So she doesn't have a lot of housework and all that stuff to mess around with. So that keeps her happy. I pitch in. And so, I cook most of the meals. I cook extra meals and leave stuff, especially on the weekends. We'll fix stuff and leave it so she can have stuff to take for lunch if she wants to sometimes, if she's not going to go out to lunch. So all of those things help. But it just comes down to the communication. She understands that cycling is in my blood. When she met me, that was the first thing I told her. I ride bikes. Not going to go away. It's not a fad. And so she knew that. And so she didn't have a problem with it. And I tried to keep it reasonable. I tried to cycle this week I didn't cycle at all. This is Friday. I have not been on the bike all week. It's my rest week. And I just felt tired. I did a lot of miles last week. I rode almost 4 hours on Sunday after that hard group ride that I recorded where my body wasn't quite awake. But I just really couldn't get into riding this week. There were different things coming up. And just like you said, I had to take care of business to keep everything smooth, to keep everything moving. So I just really didn't feel like riding. I didn't seem to have enough time to get into a ride. So I may spin tonight just to loosen up my legs and ride tomorrow with the group, But it really comes down to you being considerate, being aware, and being in communication with your significant other. I mean, it's not a problem. My riding does not interfere with my family. In fact, my 7-year-old now, when she was 5, they had her do something at school where she was writing and talking about what her dad does. And she wrote on there, I kept it, she wrote that her dad rides bikes. Because that's all she saw from the time she was little. She wrote, so as far as she's concerned, my job is riding bikes. That's what I do. And it does not interfere because I don't let it take over my family life. My family is pretty important. And I gave up a big corporate job because I was miserable with the job. It was too much stress. It was keeping me away from my family. I gave it up, took less money to have more time to spend with my family and with the hobby I love. Because without cycling, I probably wouldn't be as healthy as I know I wouldn't be as healthy as I am. Cycling fired my doctors. I have a family that has a history of high blood pressure. And when I was in my 30s, my cholesterol was up according to the doctors. High blood pressure was up according to that. I mean, I was fine. I just went for a physical and they wanted to start giving me all these drugs to take, to control cholesterol and control this. I was like, pfft. So I'm glad that I found cycling before that point. But if I weren't cycling, I'd probably have those issues because I'm predisposed to it. Supposedly it runs in my family. So because of that, I have my resting heart rate is like 39, 40 in the morning. My pulse during the day is in the 50s, just sitting around. So all my blood levels are really good. And that's because of cycling. And I love riding my bike. It's just a lot of fun, takes me away from everything. But it's doable. It's just, you just have to be balanced. You have to be reasonable. You can't go ride your bike 10 hours a day and then you didn't pick up the groceries or you didn't pick up the orange juice that you guys are low on, and then you leave everything on your significant other and then expect her to be happy. So that's how I keep her happy. I offload her. I pitch in. If I'm coming from work and the store's on the way, we text each other, what do we need? What's missing? I hit the HEB or whatever and I pick up stuff. There are no particular tasks for someone based on gender in our family. Everybody pitches in. And that's why it works, I believe. So feel free to leave your comments and questions below and tell us how you manage it in your household. This is how I do it. I will summarize. I do it by scheduling my rides when my family's asleep. They like to sleep in on the weekends, so the weekends are great. The weekends are perfect. That's when I get 5 to 6 hours in, no worries. That's why I have rain gear. That's why I have mud guards. Because if it's raining in the morning, as long as it's not freezing cold, I'm heading out because that's my window. And then I come back, I can play Wii with my girls and hang out with the wife. And so during the week, I can ride on my trainer either early in the morning or later at night. A lot of times I work out of the house, and so I can ride at lunch. Sometimes I can go out. If I can't, I ride the trainer. So the trainer and the weekend mornings give me everything I need. So just wanted to stress that that's how I manage it. So everybody's happy. It's not a problem. In fact, my wife will come and ask me, when are you going to ride? Because she said that when I ride, I come back in a better mood. So, so I have a woman who pushes me out the door. Go ride your bike. You're a grouch. Get out of here. So that's the way it works. So share with us how you manage it, because it's not cookie cutter for everybody, but that's how I manage it. And Tread Light District, thanks for joining the community. Welcome. Great suggestion. Keep them coming. Be safe and don't let anything stop you from riding your bike.